Beef is what's for dinner today in a one-pan idea that you can do easily and quickly as we make a super simple stroganoff with a side of sautéed veggies. I'm Jeff Philbin. This is Dinner DeeAs. It's an international edition of Dinner DeeAs today as we welcome Chef Pedro Passalacqua. Pleasure, my friend.
Pleasure to meet you, Jeff.
Welcome to Dinner DeeAs today because Chef Pedro was born in Argentina, is now with JW Marriott Tampa Water Street, where he infuses his Italian and Spanish heritage into his dishes. And we're headed out east, and we're going east today for a classic from Russia, beef stroganoff, named for a member of the Russian elite back in the 19th century. But more importantly, you say that this is a quick, simple meal, and despite its origins, it's just going to stay true to that. Quick and simple.
Yes, very quick and simple, and like we were saying before, it's great to have as a home-cooked meal at night with the family. I think it's going to be great for today's show.
I absolutely love it. Now, you've already started to cube up some beef over here, so what type of beef do you have here?
So today I've chosen to have beef tenderloin to make it quicker.
Okay.
Other cuts that we can use is going to be the chuck roast. However, it's going to be taking a lot more time to cook since it's a tougher cut of meat.
Okay, so when you have a tougher cut of meat, you need that time to really render that fat out, so that way then you can get just that juiciness, all of that softness of that.
That is right.
But here, a tenderloin, very little fat to work with. Okay, so what do you need to do next?
So right now I just salt and pepper the steaks to have the flavor infusing, and then I'm going to start heating up the oil on the pan. And what I need is, once the oil is hot, to add a little bit of the steaks.
And you can hear it sizzle. You know that you're going to have a hot pan here. And what are you trying to do here? You're just looking for a nice little sear?
What I'm looking for, like you said, is sear to get the Maillard reaction. That is going to get a nice crust in all the cuts of the meat, in the cubes. And what we don't want to do is put a lot of the meat inside at the same time, because it's going to start boiling. It's going to reduce the heat of the pot, and then you're not going to hear the sizzling, and you're not going to get a nice sear and crust.
So folks, do this in batches here. Make sure that you don't overcrowd the pan here so you can have that Maillard reaction. Because I'm starting to see some of that right on that one there.
So right on that side, you're going to start seeing a little bit of browning. If we flip it, you're going to see a little bit of the color on top.
Yep.
So that's what we look for the cuts of meat.
Oh, I love it. And for a supper of this super simple stroganoff, grab Chef Pedro's recipe at our website, dinnerdeeas.com. If you have your phone in your hot little hands, open up the camera app as if you're about to take a photo and point it at the TV. Zoom in on the box down in the corner, and a link to us will appear right on your phone.
And look, I see this is the perfect color.
That's the one right there.
For.
That nice little bit of golden brown over here. And I loved how you didn't really pull on it. You knew because of the Maillard reaction, it's going to release itself naturally.
Yes. So what you're looking for is that, like, usually with the pan, if you have stainless steel or whatever pot you have, get it hot enough that the meat is not going to get stuck to the pan.
Now, your background, where are you originally from? Where are you born and raised, my friend?
Born and raised in Argentina.
Okay, so that's like the home of like open flame cooking here. Like really, I mean, that is the heart of it right now.
What we call asado, a little bit different from the barbecue. We have open flame, we use charcoal, vegetable charcoal, and firewood, that it delivers a different type of flavor when you're doing it, because it's kind of a slow cooking as well. And the cuts of meat that we use on that barbecue are different. Like, mainly it's beef, rarely any pork except for the sausages.
Okay.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Argentina is the highest consumer per capita per pound of beef.
Wow.
So yes, we eat a lot of beef in Argentina. For every meal we can have one cut of meat. The one that we like the most is called vacío. It's not a cut that we find in the States. It's very difficult.
I've never heard. So walk us through. What type of cut is this?
So the cut from the cow, it's right under the rib cage.
Okay.
So where we get the flank and the flap meat.
Okay.
In Argentina, it's all joined together. We don't break it apart by muscles.
Got it. Okay.
So it has a very good marbling, but it takes a long time to cook.
Okay, so then this is like really you're just really roasting this for a long time over that open flame?
Yes, it takes, to get it tender and not dry, around 4 hours, but very slow heat.
What you're describing is something that's like, almost like, you're not doing this every single night. Is this like a special occasion type?
We usually get it around for the families on Sundays. It's like the Sunday barbecue, but we call it the Sunday asado. We get with the family. We have some picada from before. Picada, it's like a charcuterie. So we have some cold cuts, some cheeses. You're having some wine, some beer.
I want to join his Sunday supper club with his family. I want to join your family now after that, dude.
If you ever go to Argentina, you're more than welcome to join us. We'll make it happen.
I would love that. That has been on the radar for a long time, to go South America there. I've been wanting to. Friends of mine have done it, and they've absolutely fallen in love.
So here I'm taking some of the beef that has been cooking and searing.
And you could smell just that beefiness that's right now inside the Dinner DeeAs kitchen too, which is really nice. And folks, if you're seeing all of the dark remains in the pan here, don't be afraid. That fond, that's flavor right here.
That's what we're gonna try to pick up in a little while when we add the onions. So we have here already some diced onions, and I'm gonna dice a little bit more because this is what is gonna get also some of the moistures to the dish. And again, these cuts, they don't have to be perfect because we're gonna cook it.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be visible in the final dish.
And because you were using that tenderloin, there's not that much fat that's really happening with that beef. So I see the butter over here. Is that intentional to kind of bring in a little
That's
fat?
what we're gonna eat a little bit now before adding the onion.
Okay.
So it's gonna start melting a little bit. And as you can see, it's starting to lift the flavors from the Maillard reaction, like we said before. Now we can increase the heat a little bit. And again, we're gonna add the onions, previously diced, and the one that I just diced.
And what are we trying to do? We're just trying to sweat these down? We're trying to take them to a nice golden? What are we looking for?
That's what we're gonna look. We're gonna look to get it to a nice golden color and to start getting soft, to then continue with the recipe, adding the rest of the ingredients and developing the flavors for the end dish.
I can't wait to see these onions. They got to do their thing and caramelize a little bit, so we're taking a quick break. But when we come back, we get started on our side. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're making a meal perfect for keeping out the cold or just eating anyway, whatever the weather. Beef stroganoff, which if you've never cooked it before, it's super simple and really quick. All thanks to Chef Pedro Passalacqua from the JW Marriott on Water Street in Tampa. Before the break, we diced up our beef. Now we're using tenderloin tips, but you can use whatever works for you or your budget. We seasoned them with a little salt and pepper and sauteed them in oil, flipping them to get them brown all over, and took them out of the pan before they really started to truly cook. Just the color and the sear. We added some butter to saute some onions. Then during the break, we added the mushrooms, and those were some button mushrooms and shiitake mushrooms, plus a little salt, a little pepper, and some thyme. And you can just see and smell it now. It's coming alive well because those onions, look how golden those were.
So that is what we were looking for, to get them saute a little bit, to get the color, the golden brown that you want, to pick up the flavors that the beef got on the bottom of the pot. And now we're gonna continue adding 1 or 2 tablespoons of garlic, fresh chopped garlic, and let it cook a little bit more. And now you can smell the garlic that is coming out.
It's also the thyme. The thyme has just got this beautiful fragrance that always just kind of gets me every single time in the kitchen. And it's going to do it for you, because to make Chef Pedro's super simple stroganoff for supper, grab the recipe at dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code in the corner of the screen. All right, well, that does its thing over here. What is going on over here with our peppers and onions?
So what we're gonna do is a little side dish to goes perfectly with the beef stroganoff. So we have a hot pan, melting some butter. You're gonna hear it.
Oh, yeah.
And you can smell a little bit of the flavor. Once it gets a little bit brown, the butter, it gets like what we call it beurre noisette. That is a nut, so you're gonna feel a little bit of the nut flavor coming out.
You get that right now in this kitchen right now. I mean, I think people sometimes get afraid when they see butter and it like hits the pan and it changes that color. That they're like, oh no! But like that is beautiful flavor. That is that nugget that you want.
That's what we're looking for.
That's what you want.
We're looking for. We have to be very quick so it doesn't burn.
Yeah.
So once it gets the color on the butter, that's when we add all the veggies. And again, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper.
And folks, if you're afraid of that part, the veggies at room temperature here are gonna cool the pan just a little bit too. So you're going to see that. You're getting the flavors from that butter that's coming what you want. But then also you're getting, just to start cooking our veg now.
And you can hear it already searing, but the butter, because like Jeff said, brought down the temperature of the pan down, and it's gonna start cooking all the veggies together at the same time.
And you just hit it with just a little salt and pepper, very simple,
Just
very
a little
clean.
bit of salt and pepper, and you just let them cook. You add these vegetables at the same time because they're gonna take pretty much the same time to cook.
Okay.
Onion, peppers, and usually we just get them small, medium dice. You don't have to be perfect because when we're getting together, we don't care about how it's gonna be the dice of each vegetable. We're just getting together to eat some food.
I love it. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one here because you're starting to really kind of thicken up a little bit over here.
As you can see, it's starting to thick up on the bottom, and that's why we're gonna deglaze the whole pot with a little bit of white wine.
Oh,
so
come
we're
on.
looking for a dry wine and just a little bit on the bottom. Thank you for serving.
Oh, I love it.
You
We're
mix it
taking
a little bit.
another quick break, but when we come back, we get the sauce going for our stroganoff. Ahead, I'm Dinner DeeAs. Well, welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where my guest is an Argentinian beef expert. That sounds like everyone down there is. Chef Pedro Passalacqua is with the JW Marriott on Water Street in Tampa, and he's here to share a recipe for the classic dish, beef stroganoff, an easy, delicious dinner that's quick to make. Before the break, we added garlic to our mushrooms, then started on a side of sautéed vegetables, heating butter in a hot pan, then adding red and green peppers and red onion. Meanwhile, we added white wine to our Dutch oven to deglaze all the flavors from the base of that pan there, and it's lifting up the smells too with it.
It's smelling amazing in this kitchen with everything fresh that we added at the time, the garlic like Jeff was saying. And now we're gonna continue cooking a little bit more, adding some more ingredients.
Oh, take me down this pathway, my friend.
So we're gonna add a little bit of flour now, all-purpose flour. Just a little bit, because what we're gonna look for is to get the sauce, the thickness of the sauce that we want. Because of the juices of the mushrooms, the onions that got, taken out from the veggies, is gonna start making the sauce.
The mushrooms have a ton of moisture in there. The onions brought out those nice sugars behind that as well. And so this now flour is gonna create all of just that natural thickness that now is gonna help thicken any type of sauce that you're making. And you can see it all
It's getting
seized
thickened,
together.
so the sauce, all the juice that was there is got clogged with the flour, and we're gonna start adding some fresh sour cream. Dijon mustard to get the tartness of the recipe and depth of the flavors.
So you're getting a little tart, you're getting a little tang from that sour cream going on in there.
And adding fresh pepper, corn. It's always better to get the fresh pepper meal to get a better depth of the flavor of the pepper.
You smell it. You smell it. You notice a difference.
And we're gonna add a little bit of the Worcester sauce, or English sauce, as called. Just a little bit.
And that's gonna help with that umami.
That's the
Behind
umami
it.
that we're looking for it. Mix, get everything.
And take it all in while you're wafting it, my friends. When you're making this dish, really kind of get close to it and smell everything, because I've said it so many times. You cook with your senses, have some fun with it, and enjoy the process, because to grab Chef Pedro's beef stroganoff recipe, all the ingredients, the amounts, and directions are ready to print. Just head over to dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code in the corner of the screen to find us.
and I'm adding a little bit of the beef broth that is gonna be part of the sauce. So depending how thick you want it and depending of the cut of meat that you're gonna use is how much you're gonna add. Because we are using tenderloin, that it's a linear cut of meat and it's not gonna take that long, we shouldn't add that much, but we can add at the end if it's getting too thick. I mix everything so the flour gets completely mixed in with the stock.
Oh, I love that.
And let it cook a little bit more.
Okay.
In the meantime, like we were saying, we have one of the side dishes. We have the veggies already pretty tender enough that we can add the rest of the veggies. We have some green zucchini.
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, we're eating with our eyes too on the senses over here, but you were intentional with getting these to be timed just right because these would be mush if you pushed all those vegetables together.
Perfect. That's what perfectly like you were saying. We don't want everything to be. Nothing cooks at the same time. Like we said before, onions and peppers, they will cook a little bit longer, and the zucchini and squash is only gonna take a few minutes. So we just add it. So you're just gonna get the pan, the spatula. Thank you very much. We're gonna mix everything. We're gonna add some fresh thyme. Again, we're looking for the fragrance of the thyme and some fresh chopped parsley to the dish and let it cook.
And the thyme has such a beautiful brightness behind it. It has like a lemon kind of undertone behind it. So it's just gonna freshen and brighten up this dish really, really nicely.
And like every time that we add something new to the dish, we need to season.
It's back to that layering. It's back to that layering, my friends. You want to make this for your dinner. Take a photo and let us know if you liked it. DM us on Instagram. We're at Dinner DeeAs. That's what Steve did. He's watching in Citrus Park. Hi, Steve. He made the eggplant parmesan zorrentina shared by Paul Barcelona from Esposito's. Steve, that right there is tiered to the top, my man. Good job, dude. Paula emailed dinnerdeeas@fox.com with her photo. She's watching it in Lake Placid and also made the eggplant parmesan sorrentina and the bucatini amatriciana. She said, these recipes are a keeper. My husband Ed loved it. Felt like we were in a 5-star restaurant. Love your show. Paula, Ed, I love that you love the show. That right there is a 5-star restaurant. And to think, you did that all in the comfort of your own home. Fantastic job, Paula and Ed. Oh, smells are so good. You want to do some pasta?
Yes. Now that we have the water boiling, we can use, I decided to use some fresh pasta because it takes very long, short time to cook. The packet, it says 2 minutes. With this type of heat, maybe it take a little bit less. You can use any pasta, dry pasta, gnocchi, whatever pasta that you like, or even rice if you want to.
I've heard that before. Like, I've heard rice is actually a common thing. I didn't grow up with that. I was more the traditionalist with egg noodles, but I'm excited to try some fresh fettuccine pasta over here. I think you will be too. We're gonna follow the instructions. Ours say about 2 minutes. Yours might take for whatever you need it to be. But one thing that's for sure, we gotta take one last break. When we come back, we're serving up our stroganoff ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where a chef from South America is making a recipe from Russia because it turns out deliciousness tastes same in every language. Chef Pedro Passalacqua is here from the JW Marriott on Water Street in Tampa and has been sharing a recipe for beef stroganoff, which we've been serving with fettuccine and some sautéed vegetables. During the break, we added the beef back to our stroganoff and we drained our pasta and heated it with a little bit of butter and a little of the sauce.
And right now it's almost perfectly ready. We have the thickness that we're looking for on the sauce of the stroganoff. And right here, all the veggies have cooked perfectly all together and in different times, but we want the texture of every little bite.
And we didn't just take that pasta straight out of the water. You pulled it, you heat it with a little bit of butter inside that pan, bring in more of those flavors and that fat, and then...
That's right, because what we want is a little bit of that cooking water. So you have a little bit of the starch, so also helps thicken it out.
That's right.
And then when we saute it in butter, you have the flavor of the butter, and also it prevents to getting stuck all the pasta together. And now, if we can, we're gonna start plating up the dish. We turn off this one, and we have enough for one.
Oh yeah. There's something just so beautiful about a beef stroganoff. Like, there's just a warmth behind it. It's a comfort food. You know, it's slowly taking on those flavors that just build on layer upon layer there. and your sauce just kind of just drapes it. Look at the sear on that little tenderloin right there. I mean, like, just getting you.
And a little bit of every little bit of color for the vegetables. And don't be afraid to have still the twig of the thyme, because it's still gonna give some fragrant smells. Or
Look at this. Slide this over here. Look at how that looks. Oh my gosh. And then just a little parsley. Is that how you kind
and
of
at the end, we're gonna do, for the color and everything, fresh parsley on top.
That is so good, Chef.
And that's
You got to go in with me, my friend. Come on, go in. I'm getting that little bit of that mushroom that's soaking up that sauce. A little twirl of that fettuccine here, and then, oh, you didn't go for that one? Oh, I was calling that beef right there. That had my name on it the entire time.
I left it to you.
And I'm
How was
so
it?
glad that you did leave it for me, because it's creamy. That mustard, that sour cream just creates this beautiful sauce behind it. And you have that layer of all of what's happening with that beefiness. And then you're having that mushroom that brings an earthiness behind it. It's just awesome. What do you think?
I think it's perfect now for what the winter is coming. You have, like he said, the depth of the different flavors and the textures and the vegetables to give it a freshness at the end.
Oh, you can't beat that one. You can't beat that, my friends. Thanks to Chef Pedro. Grab the recipe for his beef stroganoff and veggies at our website, dinnerdeas.com. Scan the QR code down there to find us. We also have a link to the JW Marriott on Water Street in Tampa, where you can pick from a selection of restaurants to sample chef's dishes in person. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with another idea for dinner, as we call Dinner Dias.